Well, it's over. It is unironically, unconditionally, truly over. It is done, it is cooked, it is whatever you want to say. Halo is on PlayStation. Well, the way they say it is that for the first time it's on PC, Xbox, for the first time, PlayStation. I thought Gears, Gears, it was a Gears remake. Gears Reloaded or Remaster, whatever, that came to PlayStation. So they lost Gears, kinda. It wasn't the newer Gears, but it was Gears 1. And now Halo. And this is unironically it. This is not only it for Halo as a franchise. Well, basically, yeah. But this is it for Xbox, for Microsoft. And the term that I keep thinking of is you either die an exclusive or live long enough to see yourself a multi-plat. It's just sad at this point because I don't expect anything from this studio. 343 had a chance, They co-developed, I believe, on Reach and Halo 4 was their first project, so they at least had some training. And this goes to show that authorship, canon, you cannot pass on the artistic work of someone to someone else and expect it to be consistent or progressive in the original direction they were going, because it's just not the same. And we knew that. And I tried Halo 4. I gave it, it was fine. Halo 5 was a disaster. I never bought that. I just watched it and said, okay, we're not touching this. Infinite was kind of a slight redemption, but then immediately died quickly after. And lo and behold, it's funny how it's gone from Bungie to 343 to Halo Studios. It's gone from total abstraction to reference to, yeah, what do you do? I work for Halo Studios. I make Halo games. Wow, shocking. But oh man, it's but this is it for Xbox as well. When I bought my Series X, which I love, by the way, I think it's a great console. It's a kind of a simplistic, monolithic, cool design. The controller's great, actually. Series X controllers are the best controllers I've ever used, and it really surprised me. There's a lot of good things about Xbox, despite all the negative press it gets. But this is it. They've made too many mistakes, or intentional mistakes. They've done. The best thing that they had going for them, for their lack of exclusive, was Game Pass, and now Game Pass is jacking the price up more than 50% to $30 US. So I'm done with that. I'm not dealing with that. They also have they've lost their exclusive. This is their flagship IP. They've closed down half their studios and more than half of the really good projects they announced. Even Perfect Dark, which looked decent, gone. They are pricing out their consumers, and they have nothing in the run. And so because Halo going multi-plat, their flagship sole reason, despite the fact it was doing poorly and dying, there is no reason to buy an Xbox. I really do hope this is their signal. I'm saying, and I assumed they were going to do this anyway, that they are exiting the console market, that they are done. Because consoles are sold on exclusives, at least for real gamers and not just consumers who buy the thing for the sake of buying the thing. I didn't understand these people existed, but yeah, I know plenty of people who own PS5s and they're not gamers and they don't use it. Even normal gamers who own PS5s don't use it because there's no games for it. So, this is the way it ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. It's defeat. It's surrender. People say the end of the console wars is a peaceful, harmonious thing. This is pathetic. Because no one really won here. Halo just lost. Microsoft lost. And again, when you go to buy, like if they even decided to release a new Xbox after this, what would you even put on the cover? When I went and bought my Series X, the only thing on the cover was Halo Infinite. That's it. Because there were no other games. How do you advertise the consumer the experiences on the machine if all those experiences are on other machines? When you bought a 360 or, you know, an original Xbox, it had like 20 different games on it. They had multiple IPs to pick and choose from. And it, you know, the last Xbox I bought, it was just Halo on the box because they have nothing else. And now they don't have Halo. So if they're dumb enough to go to a new console, what would you even do? And fair enough, you know, they've done a whole ad campaign where it says this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, the ROG Ally, which apparently is not very good in some tech review I just saw. So, you know, this handheld is an Xbox. The most egregious one I saw recently, by the way, was someone's smartphone. I think it was an Android. It doesn't matter. A smartphone saying, hey, by the way, you can play Ninja Gaiden 4 on your smartphone. This is an Xbox. What? Fool. What? Who would play the most intense... By the way, Ninja Gaiden 4 is great. Who would play the most intense, skill-based action game on a touch screen this big? Like, I really can't figure out if the marketing department at Xbox, Microsoft, wants them to fail. Like, you want people to hate your product or just not use it. It's like telling you the best way to drive your car is by biking or something. It's just like, what are you saying? Or like, don't bother using brakes when you drive. It's just an insane thing to say. And so they don't care. Their branding is non-branding. It's actually not even it's anti-branding. It's saying that, hey, our brand is our competitors. They might as well put a picture of a PS5 and playing Halo and say, oh, well, this is an Xbox. Like, it's so suicidally antithetical to everything they'd want to achieve. And the worst thing about this, the thing that really rubs me, by the way, the wrong way, is the title of this thing, which is another resuscitation of the same corpse that a 30-person, I think less than 30-person team made in like the late 90s or early 2000s. Hapdash after failing 3 times at making a product. And they just threw it together. And it was so perfect and a thing of its time that they just have to keep rehashing the same old corpse. I thought Anniversary is bad with butchering the art style, but they've just doing the same thing here, where they've even abandoned their own engine, Slipstream, and just submitted to Unreal Engine 5. This is the most uncreative, uninteresting product you could... It's a product. It's not a creative endeavor at all. Of course, you wouldn't even call it that. It is the most egregious example. Well, not the most. I mean, there's others for sure, but this is the equivalent of the rehash of the rehash. This is a Hollywood remake. This is pathetic. It is literally the exact same thing, but using this more standardization, not less, not more quirks that made the game original. More standardization. And yeah, and what really rubs me off is the name of it, Campaign Evolved, implying this is the official best way. And for a lot of PlayStation players, this is going to be the first time they've ever seen or tried Halo. And along with Gears Reloaded, it's the first time they're going to be experiencing Gears. And so now all the experiences that made Xbox, in fact, the main experience, this was it. This was the console seller. This is like Zelda going to PlayStation or going to Sega or going to Microsoft. I mean, I was going to say like Metal Gear going, but, you know, PlayStation is a bit of a weird one. It doesn't really have hardcore exclusives, except for something like Bloodborne. But even then, it's kind of okay, whatever. But back in the day, Halo sold the console. Halo and Xbox were hand in hand, synonymous, and now they are essentially divorced. And because of that, it's really a question of why would you ever buy an Xbox? Which I repeat, they would be stupid / suicidal to go the hardware route and release another Xbox after this, because then how do you even sell it? Like Game Pass? Like we have Game Pass, we have games. Well, PlayStation has now all the games you have plus more. And this is the same generation of Phil Spencer saying great games don't sell consoles, when that is exactly why the Xbox got popular. You could only play Halo on it. I bought an Xbox because of Halo. Like, I don't understand how people can be so out of touch or just lying. I'd feel better if they were just lying and evil and trying to get rid of the Xbox for corporate decision making and making an excuse rather than just being this out of touch. But it is what it is. But yeah, this is the first time PlayStation owners are going to play this, and they're thinking, oh, this is officially what it's about, what it's like. And I hate that idea. I hate that idea that this twice remastered game with Unreal Engine 5 is going to be the official way. That's like saying, oh yeah, all those old books or plays or pieces of music, well, they didn't have trap beats every 5 seconds, so we're adding that and making it better. I mean, the one thing that does have my interest in this project is the fact that it has a bunch of prequel missions to Halo, which are interesting. Frankly, I think it will absolutely undercut and murder the pacing of the game, because the pacing in the first level is so good. You arrive right in the middle of the action. I don't know if they're going to show Chief on Reach. I don't really care, because everything they add can't be good. But they're at least trying to do something. So I'll give them credit there. There's like the slimmest of hopes they add something actually interesting, which I very highly doubt. Really, really doubt. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is just the art design of the original Halo was so distinct and so interesting that to say this is the right way to experience it is so wrong-headed. And at least in the Anniversary Edition, as much as I hated it, it allowed the feature for you to look at the classic graphics to at least compare them, which I really do appreciate. And to kind of boil it down, I mean, the main thing is that you're on Halo, and Halo is an artificial environment. It is a simulacrum of nature and of reality, which is so interesting that you have these normal rock formations or forests that early 2000s graphics render more or less, but you can tell there's something slightly off about it. It's slightly surreal, which fits into the lore that you're on an alien environment that is replicated in nature. So of course it looks slightly off, which fits into the lore. It's similar to Silent Hill, and the fact that the fog that was used to hide the environment and the hardware limitations is actually part of the aesthetic of the game at that point. It has an in-lore reason for looking like that. And it's so cool when you're driving around and you have these kind of real trees, kind of real rock formations, and then you have these Forerunner structures which are hyper simplistic. They are smooth, they look otherworldly, they look really strange. In the remake and the Anniversary Edition, which is this, based off, they over stylized, over complicated the design of the Forerunner structures. They could put more grooves, more notches, more edges, instead of these monolithic structures that I always thought were kind of reminiscent of giant communist brutalism architecture, where you'd be taking a train in the countryside and you'd see the giant concrete slab commemorating some Soviet war hero that looked like it was out of an alien civilization. I mean, brutalism itself is a very alien looking thing, and I thought it was almost a commentary on that, or a nod, or perhaps it was total coincidence, but I felt it was very appropriately similar that you just had these giant monolithic structures. I mean, literally 2001 is a monolith, is a slab of whatever that is beyond human comprehension. It's like, what is this thing that is so simple in its design, yet it is so unknown and so multifaceted and effective, yet we are unable to ascertain its true nature because it doesn't reveal itself. I mean, even similar to the pyramids, who are these almost uniform structures that the latticing between the stones is so thin it seems like it's almost one piece, and in its prime it probably appeared as such. Anyway, I'm getting really off topic, but I'm just saying the Halo 1 aesthetic was really just really defined and really well thought out, and it just had a certain vibe. There's nothing like Halo CE. Even Halo 2 doesn't capture the same design and aspects of Halo CE, the original. And here they've just butchered it entirely. I mean, it looks pretty, it looks in a way that'll please shareholders and people who say, yep, that sure is Unreal Engine 5, but now it also looks like every other game on the market. The only good saving grace here that I can see is that they've kept the soundtrack the same. The soundtrack in Halo 1 it's very important. Ambient Wonder and all those other tracks are so important to the identity of this game. They are adding other things, like you can pick up an energy sword, which is cool. The other thing that also rubbed me the wrong way is that its campaign evolved. As far as I could see, there was no multiplayer component, which is kind of a shame. I mean, I never really got to experience Halo 1 multiplayer until the Master Chief Collection. It was a big thing on PC, and a lot of people didn't have it on PC. It was more of a niche community, and playing Halo 1 multiplayer on Master Chief Collection, it's a very fun experience and very unusual as well. It's something people missed out on. The flamethrower, the giant maps, the different kind of nuances, the fuel rod cannon. All these things were really nifty, and even though MCC came out and this was a main feature, I didn't really realize it was. They were more focused on promoting Halo 2 Anniversary and a bunch of other things in there. So this again is another missed opportunity to really expand, you'd think, on the multiplayer component, bring all those classic maps back, those classic matches, and a bunch of other stuff too that just would be really cool that a lot of people missed out on. I was always very mystified by Halo 1 multiplayer. It was a very distinct and interesting aspect, and here they are just saying, yeah, no, we're just making the campaign. So this studio, Halo Studios, exists to basically only rehash the previous things that made Microsoft good and just turn them into identical products that look like this every other game on the market. It's like taking, I don't know, the Mona Lisa and turning it into an Andy Warhol, and then taking every other piece of art and also turning it into an Andy Warhol. I mean, the original's still there, you can go see it, but they're promoting it as if, yeah, this is pop art is the future. Anyway, I'm just an old boomer ranting about things, but the loss of what we had. I mean, again, I would take this opportunity to play the original Halo in its original format as people fell in love with it in that time. Someone asked me once, why do you bother going back to the originals? Because it's about the experience. It's not about the technical prowess. It's about, at a certain time, a certain design, the flaws and even the cons at the time, I think, are more important to me than improvements. You can take a PC game and mod it to hell and back. You could take Skyrim and mod it until it doesn't even recognize its original format. But that's not the game that people originally fell in love with. There's something about the original experience, the original connection between the artist and the audience, where they designed it for the Xbox. They designed it for this audience, and that's what made it such a big deal. It's going back to a certain point in time and a certain attitude and a certain mentality that made it what it is today. And this is just a repainting of that same thing, saying that it's going to fit in with the current culture or current state of the industry when it doesn't. And so that's my pitch, I guess, to go play the original Halo, to understand why it was popular, what it is as it is, and honestly, I'd say the original is the best way to experience it. But yeah, this is the end of Halo and the official end of Xbox. So, bye.